From WVLT, this is Local 8 News, First at 4.
For the first time since last week's shooting in Chattanooga, the military talks about the pain of losing 5 of their servicemen. We are live from Chattanooga.
Plus, the investigation into former Vol basketball coach Donnie Tyndall is done. We soon could learn if the NCAA plans to pursue charges.
And a Florida business owner says that his gun shop is a Muslim-free zone. We're going to get your voice on that subject.
Good afternoon and welcome to First at 4. I'm Lauren Davis.
And I'm Mark Packer. New details today about last week's shooting rampage that left 5 service members dead.
Local 8 News reporter Brittany Nada spent the day in Chattanooga and she joins us now with the very latest. Brittany?
Hi, Lauren. The FBI tells us now the shooter actually was able to make his way inside the Reserve Center building. That's where at least 2 servicemen were armed and started shooting at Abdulaziz while he was walking inside of the building and once he was inside. Now, this is crucial information because it helps us piece together a more thorough timeline of exactly what happened last Thursday. It all started at the recruiting center where Abdulaziz opened fire, but he didn't hit anyone. Then he was chased by Chattanooga police for 7 miles to the Reserve Center where he crashed that silver Mustang through the gate. Then he got out of the car armed with an assault rifle, handgun, and several magazines of ammunition. That's when a service member who was inside saw him walking towards the building. That service member started shooting at Abdulaziz, but he returned fire and came inside the building. While he was inside, he shot at least 1 serviceman. Then he walked out through the back door into the motor pool area where he shot and killed 4 other servicemen before he was killed by Chattanooga police officers.
When history records what happened in Chattanooga last week, it won't be remembered for the heinous actions of one individual. The legacy of that day is one of valor, a day of American strength.
The FBI adds that all of the events at the Reserve Center happened within 3 to 5 minutes, and now they have 700 to 1,000 agents investigating this case. And a few other things that we're learning for the first time. The FBI is labeling Abdulaziz a homegrown violent extremist. We'll go into further detail on exactly why they're calling him that tonight at 5 o'clock. Plus, we're hearing stories of heroism from our servicemen. Some of the lives lost may actually be some of the same people who died trying to protect their fellow soldiers. That's tonight at 6 o'clock. Reporting live in Chattanooga, Brittany Nada, VLT Local 8 News.
All right, Brittany, thank you, and much more from her later on. Well, a breaking story today. Former UT basketball coach Donnie Tyndall was let go because of a pending investigation from the NCAA, but soon we're going to find out what charges Tyndall may face. Tennessee Athletic Director Dave Hart fired Tyndall back in March, saying that they had cause to believe that Donnie Tyndall would face charges. The investigation began because of alleged recruiting violations while Tyndall was the head coach at Southern Miss. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, we'll get more insight from our media partners at volquest.com.
Well, we are tracking crime now in Anderson County, where a man is charged with murder after being accused of running someone over during a 4th of July celebration. Law enforcement in Jefferson County booked Lee Cromwell just before noon today. He is facing several charges, including first-degree murder, reckless homicide, vehicular homicide, and a dozen aggravated assault charges. 9 people were hurt in the incident, including James Robinson. Family members tell us that he jumped in front of the truck to save his daughter. He later died at the hospital. Officers in Jefferson County made 3 arrests after a high-speed chase. The SUV was stolen out of Knoxville. The sheriff's office tells us the chase reached 100 miles per hour. And after the crash, officers arrested 3 people in the car. They used dogs to try and find the driver, but they couldn't find that person. If we know where that person may be, or if you know, you're asked to call police. And in Knoxville, this guy was arrested after police found a slew of drugs on him, guns and cash in his home. It happened on Sunflower Drive in West Knoxville. Richard Thompson is facing drug sale charges and possession of a gun during commission of a felony.
Well, 2 Oak Ridge football players are in serious condition this afternoon after a wreck in Blount County yesterday afternoon. Families and Wildcat head football coach Joe Gaddis said that Jalen Nickerson and Devonta Mitchell are in serious condition and are undergoing multiple surgeries for injuries from a crash on Lamar Alexander Parkway near John Helton Road. A third player, Devon Middleton, was treated for a concussion and released. Now, coming up at 5 o'clock, Local 8 News reporter Heather Burrian talks to Coach Gaddis and a man who says that he saw that crash happen. So a lot of thoughts and prayers for those young men. Nickerson played football at Maryville, transferred over to Oak Ridge, and not in a good spot right now, so much more coming up at 5.
5,000 people went through a lot after a train derailed, sending a hazardous chemical all around them.
Yeah, and a lot of people want to know what their legal rights are. Tonight they can have those questions answered. There will be a town hall meeting with attorneys to talk about what legal action people can take starting at 6 this evening at the Blount County Library. Attorneys say that the $500 railroad company, CSX, provided after the crash is simply not enough. We're going to be live from that town hall meeting coming up at 5 o'clock. Let's get a timeout from a very busy news day. Get a check of the weather outside.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist David Aldridge. David, it felt a little cooler out there today. Was that true?
A little bit cooler, perhaps, but the humidity is also dropping, so that may be what a lot of folks are perceiving. Let's take a look and show you as we go back to just around 11 o'clock this morning. There wasn't much going on, but we did see the storms to the west around Nashville. Now, that's what we've been seeing affecting places down toward Chattanooga, and our own Brittany Nauta out there catching some of the rain affecting those areas to the far south. As we look at live pinpoint Doppler, not much going on in Knoxville. We do have a downpour near Harriman at this time, and as you can see from this loop, it's generally the last hour just developing now north of the city and south of Coalfield at this particular time. This is what we're seeing down toward Chattanooga, quite a bit of lightning, so some strong storms going to be affecting that area here in the next few minutes, as we've already seen that thus far. 70 degrees was our starting point this morning, and now we're up to 87, but it feels like right around 90, 92 from Oak Ridge to Knoxville, guys.
All right, David, thanks. Full forecast in a few minutes. Well, confessed Charleston church shooter Dylan Roth will face federal hate crime charges.
Yeah, Roth admitted he entered the Emmanuel AME Church last month, attended a Bible study for about an hour, then shot church members, killing 9 of them. Roth told police that he did it to start a race war. The 21-year-old already faces a number of state charges for the murder. He is scheduled for trial in July of next year.
But newly released dash cam video connected to a woman's death in Texas is raising questions about her arrest.
But there are also new questions about the video itself, and we want to warn you, some of this video is disturbing. New at 4, Don Champion has the latest from Texas.
The video shows how a routine traffic stop quickly turned ugly.
Oh, you seem very irritated.
I am. I really am.
Texas trooper Brian Encinia pulled his stun gun on 28-year-old Sandra Bland after she refused to put out her cigarette and get out of the car. He threatened to use the weapon on her.
Get out of the car!
And then
I will light you up. Get out!
Wow.
Now!
Wow.
The trooper handcuffs Bland, and she is heard off camera.
You're about to break my wrist. Can you stop? You are about to break my wrist. Stop!
In an affidavit, Encinia claims Bland began swinging her elbows at me and then kicked my right leg and shin. 25 minutes into the video, images jump several times. A tow truck operator walks off camera, and seconds later, he reappears 2 more times. State officials say the video was not edited, but there may have been some problems when it was uploaded. Bland was found dead in her cell 3 days after she was arrested. Authorities say she hanged herself with a plastic garbage bag.
It's a little bit of depression as well as PTSD.
In March, Bland admitted online to battling depression, but her family does not think she killed herself. At a memorial Tuesday night, Bland's mother said she believes her daughter was murdered. The FBI is investigating. Don Champion, CBS News, Hempstead, Texas.
Wow, that is awfully suspicious. The arresting officer has been placed on administrative leave for violating procedures during a traffic stop.
Well, it's kind of like something from a sci-fi movie, but for many Jeep owners, it's a very real risk. 2 hackers were able to hack into a Jeep while it was being driven. 2 ethical hackers were able to remotely access the Jeep over its 3G connection. A video of the hacked Jeep being driven was posted Tuesday and showed the SUV stalling and losing the ability to brake. The hackers estimate as many as 470,000 vehicles using that same technology could be at risk. And now lawmakers are taking notice. One senator says that there need to be some new laws to prevent this.
We have to begin to build the protections in now, give the warnings now to American families.
Now, the hackers shared what they did with Chrysler, Jeep's parent company. The company says that it has released a software update that should improve security. How scary is that?
Yeah, computers are good, but when they go wrong, they could be bad.
Absolutely. Well, we're just a few days away from heading to our next stop of the summer for our town. We're heading over to Blount County.
Yeah, we're going to take you on a hike on Rocky Top and go on a bike tour of Cades Cove. Just go to our website for a preview, local8now.com.
Coming up on Friday.
Yeah. Now, after the Chattanooga shooting, a gun shop owner says his store is a Muslim-free zone. So is a man that says he's preparing for an invasion justified in his mindset. Your voice is coming up after the break.
Plus, a viral picture may have saved these two pups right here from being euthanized. Find out how it all